Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Miles with the Minimum. Today I'm back with an unpopular opinions video. The past few weeks and months, it's been really heavy, so I don't want to do a really heavy, like, unpopular opinions video. This is going to be the light edition, y'all. It's not going to be anything too crazy. I might have one or two that might, raise a few eyebrows, but for the most part, it's gonna be, a light edition. I got my green tea here, and I am ready to go. So let's go ahead and get on into these opinions. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do a video like this for so long, but finally, here it is. Here we go. My first opinion. So my very first opinion that I'd like to get off my chest is that customers are not always right. Now, if you're like me and you've had a few different jobs throughout the years, you definitely come to learn that this just isn't true. At the time, customers don't know what be going on. Like, they just be getting mad about anything, and they just don't know how customer service works. I love my job. I can already hear people, well, if you don't like dealing with customers, get another job. But I really do enjoy it, but it can be very frustrating to deal with people who just think they know what's best and they know how our systems or whatever operate. And, if it doesn't work out for them, it's time to get a manager, or it's time to call corporate. And it's like, no, this is something you're doing wrong. You're the problem, sir, ma'am. This is something you're doing. I want to say, like, a month ago, I was opening in returns, and this guy, he just came in, and he knew he was in the wrong. Like, he didn't have a receipt, he didn't have any, like, proof of purchase to give me. He just wanted to return this stuff, and I'm like, sir, you're a grown man. Like, there's really not much else I can do for you. But it can be so exhausting sometimes. But that's really it. Long story short, customers are not always right. Whoever came up with that saying, with that mantra, you're wrong. But anyway, on to the next opinion, you guys. So my next opinion is actually one that might be a bit controversial. I think that zoos should exist, in the sense that, like, they should be kept around. Like, zoos are doing more good than harm. Now, I love animals, believe it or not, after saying something like that, but people don't realize that if we just release all these animals into the wild, many of the species would go extinct. Like tigers, more than half of their population is actually in captivity. A lot of people don't realize that. And same with, like, rhinos, giraffes. A lot of these animals that we see all the time at zoos, a lot of them are endangered in the wild, and I think it would be very irresponsible to just release them, and whatever could happen to them. And a lot of these animals wouldn't even be prepared to live in the wild. A lot of people don't think about that either. And zoos also are a form of education. When kids go to the zoo, they're not always exposed to lions or hippos or monkeys. Like, they get to learn about the species we inhabit this earth with. So I don't know, I do think zoos are a good thing, and I do think they should be kept in place. But yeah, this probably would be my most controversial one. But let me know down in the comments if you agree or not. My third opinion is something that this one is something I'm really passionate about. I'm really passionate about music, and it always just does something to me when people almost try and gatekeep the music you listen to, or they try to tell you, oh, that music's for girls, this music's for boys, this is what you should be listening to. And I love music too much. I could never imagine telling someone what music they should listen to. Like, there's a few Instagram reels that came across where it was like, music I listen to when I'm with the boys, and music I listen to when I'm by myself. And obviously the music they're listening to contrasts very heavily. For example, there was one video, this guy, he was in the car with his friends, and it was either they were listening to like rock or rap, something that you would consider to be like masculine music. But as his friends left, he turned on Alicia Keys, and he's like, just belting out. It was either No One, or it was an Alicia Keys song. But it's, like I said, I love music way too much, and I just couldn't imagine telling someone what they should be listening to. And what gives y'all the right to tell someone what they should be listening to because they're a guy or a girl? It's just never made any sense to me. Music speaks to people differently, and they should be able to enjoy what makes them happy and what they can relate to. Okay, y'all, my next opinion is that McDonald's really isn't that bad. Obviously, for health reasons, I can see why people skip out on McDonald's, but really thinking about it, I mean, McDonald's has always been there for me. I mean, sometimes I crave a Big Mac. I think they have some of the best fries. I mean, their Oreo McFlurries, those are, I mean, sometimes they just hit the spot, and it's like, their breakfast isn't that bad either. Now, I mean, McDonald's does get knocked down a few points because usually the customer service isn't the best, but I think in general, McDonald's really isn't that bad, y'all. My next opinion that I wanted to discuss is that auto-tune is okay. Now, I know I've talked to so many older people who, like to trash this generation's music. Oh, it's just auto-tune. No one can sing anymore. And it's like, you realize that auto-tune is just supposed to, like, it's meant to modify the vocals, but not, to a point where it's not the person singing. Like, people don't know that when people use auto-tune, it's still their vocals, but it's just more of an effect than anything. It's not just taking vocals out of thin air and adding it to the song. No, like for example, like T-Pain or Lil Jon or something, everyone knows like T-Pain can sing, but he was criticized heavily for the way he used auto-tune, but it was more of a stylistic thing. I mean, he grabbed a mic and he did what he had to do, and that shut a lot of people up. Not everyone, but yeah, long story short, auto-tune is, I really think it's okay. I think it gets a bad rep, but a lot of people need to tune their voices for radio purposes, and even for concerts. Sometimes your voice just isn't always there, and I don't think it's fair to knock people down for using auto-tune. That's just never made any sense to me. Next, I'd like to discuss, in this age of social media, people say and do things on the internet that we don't always agree with. But let me tell you, one thing I will never do is argue with a stranger on the internet. Even if it's somebody I know, it would just take a lot for me to go back and forth with you. For example, I mean, I'm on Overwatch a lot, and I, put myself through the arduous task of playing the support role, like, Mercy, Brig, Zen. Those are my go-tos, but people just say the wildest thing, especially when you're playing support. But it's just, I would be so miserable, and I'd miss out on so many, like, fun things if I gave them my energy, because that's what they want. At the end of the day, they want you to engage with them. They want your energy. They don't want you to feel good because, they're miserable. They're trying to get a rise out of you. And for some people that gives them a rise, or I don't know. But no, I'll never battle someone on the internet. It would just, like I said, it would take so much. And I would really encourage you guys, if there's someone on the internet bothering you, or if there's something that you feel you want to argue about, I just really think about how you approach the situation. Just don't let everyone bother you. Just really know when to pick your battles. All right, guys, my next opinion is that people need room to grow. As actual humans, we all start out being very immature. We've all said or done something that it's like, man, why did I do that? But as we grow, we're learning from our mistakes. And I think, I don't know, something about this generation is a bit too critical for my liking. I just don't think it's fair to cancel someone or, always badmouth someone because of a decision they made when they were this small, or maybe even if it was recent. I mean, it's not fair. I mean, obviously, if this person is consistently making racial remarks, or they're being really creepy, they're, just, if they're not trying to improve, I can understand that a little better. But I think you can tell the difference between someone who's not trying to improve and someone who is. I think someone who is trying to better their life and who is trying to move past that, we should give them a little more leeway. I can't think of an example off the top of my head right now, but like I said, I feel like you can tell when someone's really trying to grow and learn from their mistakes rather than someone who isn't. But that's all I really got to say on that one. That one might be a bit controversial, I don't know, but that's just how I feel on that one. All right, guys, so this is my last unpopular opinion now. This is probably my craziest one, y'all. Like, I feel like so many people might give me hate for this one, but I have to say, Cool Ranch Doritos are the best Doritos I've ever had. There's nothing that compares. I mean, the spicy chili is okay. Nacho cheese is very basic and boring. Some of the other flavors I've had, they gave what they could give, but Cool Ranch Doritos, they're just unbeatable. They're on top for me. There's not even a lot of better snacks, I think. I mean, sure, it's a bit messy, but like, what bag of chips isn't? I mean, Cool Ranch, they have a flavor. They have the nice blue bag. I mean, it's just a total snack package for me. But there you have it, guys. Those are all my opinions. If you'd like to, comment what you agreed with and what you did not, go ahead and do that. I love reading new perspectives and learning what other people are thinking and what other people are saying. And, let me know if you have any unpopular opinions yourselves. I mean, that would be really cool, yeah, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that. I forgot to say that at the beginning of this video. I'm still new to all this, but I'll also remember to leave my Instagram in the description for whoever would want to follow me. Whoever comes across this, they can. But yes, that is the end of this video today, guys. Thank you.